Welcome to the Design Knit 8 video learning series. In this tutorial, we'll be creating an original pattern drafting shape suitable for a 6-month-old baby to give as a gift to family and friends. This is an important piece of a garment shaping library so that you're ready for the newborn gifts. The front is 10 inches wide, 9 inches high, 4.5 inches from the shoulder down to the armhole, and 4.5 inches neckline edge to edge. If you notice, we're working in inches in this schematic because that's what the schematic was made in. If you generally work in centimeters, we can easily change that at the end by saying options centimeters, and it will recalculate all the math for you into centimeters. Let's go into original pattern drafting. Right now I have a workspace with nothing in it. I have no icons available to me. I'm going to say piece, block, make a new piece. I'm going to say for the front. Okay. And now I have a garment piece and the points are active, ready to use these tools. The first icon that I want to use is fit to length. We said it was 9 inches. Okay. Fit to width we said was 10 inches. Okay. And now I want to add in a point, and I'm going to change my origin to 1, point number 1, and it says here 0, and it says here 0, so that means that this origin here is 0. I want to turn my big cursor on. I want to say add a point. I want to turn the vertical mirror off because I don't need to reflect this on both sides of 0. I'm going to go until it says 4.5, and then over here until I line this up, and it turns red when it lines up, and add a point. So now I've added point number 7. Turn the add point off. Move the point of origin over to point number 2, and now you can see the origin, the 0 is here and the 0 is here now. I'm going to turn my vertical mirror on. It's going to ask me, do you want to reflect the existing points from left to right? I'm going to say yes, and it's put my other point over here. Let's turn our big cursor off. So now we have the distance here for our armhole, and let's turn the markers on and put a marker here and put another marker here. We don't need this marker and we don't need this marker. Turn your part markers off. The next thing to do is to make a neckline, and instead of adding it with the big cursor, which we did, we have another option. This is 0 and this is 0, and we can go into piece and table, and we can see that point number 2 is indeed 0 and 0. I want to add a point before this point, so I'm going to click on the number 2 point and say plus to add in a point, and here I have space to write it in. X is across and Y is the height. For the X, I want it to be minus 2.25. And for the height, I want it to also be 0 so that it's on the same height as this one. Okay. Now I have a point number 2 over here. I want to again say reflect the origin. Turn the vertical on, reflect from left to right, yes. And I have a point here. So we've made our neckline, we've made our armhole edge. Let's turn the vertical off. We have point number 3. We want to make a curve in here, but point number 3 is in the way. So I'm going to say minus and delete this point. And now I can make a curve. Turn off the minus, delete points. Let's go back to our schematic. We notice that it's 2 inches down. Let's go to Design and Knit original pattern drafting again. Now we have a neckline. We have room to have a neckline. It's between 2 specific points. We don't have a point in the middle to worry with. This icon here is make a curve, and we're going to make a curve from here. It's saying between these 2 points, and we're going to insert 6 points. An even number of points gives you a kind of a sweet spot here, and an odd number of points will give you a point in the middle. So we're going to pick even so we have a flat area. And you can pick any one of these different kinds of shapes. This is okay. And now we have this, and we want to move 2 inches. Okay. And now I have my baby garment sleeve, and we have this little sweet spot here where it's flat. Next, we're going to make the back by saying piece and duplicate this piece, and we're going to call it the back. Now I have two. This is the back. I can see it in parentheses right here. I'm going to use this, centralize the piece to see what we're doing more closely. I'm going to turn the point numbering on. I'm going to click on delete points, and I'm going to go in. I'm going to delete out these points, and now there have it. My back is finished. Turn this off. Now let's look at our sleeve. It's going to be 7 inches high. It's going to be 4.5 times 2, so it goes around the other side, inches around, so that's 9 inches, and it's 3 inches around times 2 is 6 inches going around at the bottom. Let's go back into designing it, and let's say centralize all the pieces so I can see all the pieces I'm working with. I'm going to say piece, block, make a new piece, and I'm going to call this the sleeve. Okay, again, fit to height. This is going to be the 7 inches. Fit to the width, we're going to pick the widest part, which is at the armhole, 9 inches. And I have a sleeve that will fit. The only thing that we need to do left is we need to move these points in so that we have a wrist measurement. I'm going to turn the vertical mirroring off temporarily. I'm going to put the point of origin on number 5. I'm going to say piece, and I'm going to say table. And point number 6 should not be 4.6. It should be minus 3 inches on this direction and the other 3 inches on the other direction. So we've moved this point in. We can turn the vertical mirror back on, reflect from left to right, yes, and it's brought in this other point. Let's turn the vertical measurement off. So now we have a sleeve. We're going to say piece, duplicate this, and we're going to call this one sleeve 2. Okay. And now I'm going to bring this down and just neaten up my workspace. File, save this as baby sweater 6-month-old, baby sweater 6-month.shp. Sleeve 2 is the currently active piece. Tension is 7 stitches and 10 rows to the inch. If I want to change this because I work in centimeters, option units of measurement, change it to centimeters. OK. Design It Now has converted all of the math for you into centimeters. Thank you.